Okay, so what is the symbolism of a river? So the thing about symbolism is most symbols don't function as alone, and so most symbols exist within a uh, relational symbolism. So for something to have meaning, it has to be compared to other different things. It has to be in a story. It has to be in a pattern. Um, and so a river can have different meanings. It can A river can represent, let's say, flowing water or water coming from heaven, like water coming from above. A river is always water coming from above, flowing river, flowing water, water of life. Okay, um, compared to, let's say, the sea, or the bitter waters. Let's say the idea of this water that's underneath, and so you have water that comes down, and then you have water that's below that's still. And so the water that comes down can represent a kind of vivifying aspect. It gives life. It's like it's a spiritual influence. Let's say it's something like rain, um, and so. But a river can also represent the same kind of intermediary chaotic structure that, let's say, the sea represents, depending on what story. So for example, this notion of crossing the Jordan in the scripture, in that story, the Jordan represents more the same thing as crossing the Red Sea or crossing the flood. Whereas in other aspects, if we talk about, let's say, Christ talks about, the difference between the well and the living water which comes from above. And so the river can also represent that living water that comes from above.